Hello and welcome to this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, and I'm joined by former Canadiens defenseman, assistant coach, 1986 Stanley Cup champion, Rick Green, and my longtime Gazette colleague, Jack Todd. Jack, Sam Montembeault didn't play any games at the Four Nations face-off for Team Canada. He didn't even dress. He was the third goalie all the way through. How do you think that experience helped him moving forward?
Well, from the Canadiens' perspective, I thought it was perfect. He needed a rest. The whole team needed a rest, especially after that crazy schedule. He got the rest, but he got to stay in shape, keep practicing, stay away from the snacks, and and see some of the best players in the world and practice with them. Anytime I think that you can be around Sidney Crosby and work out with him and see the way he prepares and all that, it helps anyone, whether you're a veteran, a rookie, whatever. I've watched him practice enough to know that he's the gold standard, So just being around him and the things he observed and then coming back rested and ready to go. Like, he didn't get a lot of shots against Carolina, but he was sharp when he had to be. So I think it was absolutely the perfect formula. I was hoping no Canadians would end up on any of these teams because they obviously needed the rest. But the ones that did end up there, it worked out perfectly. Montembeault got a rest. Laine regained his confidence. And Armia just remained Armia, like a guy who gets in there and competes and moves people around and does what he does. So it worked out really well.
Rick, it's a different environment, I guess, being in the room when you're not playing. You're not thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about the game. You're sort of just like a sponge, I guess, right? Taking everything in.
Well, he did have the opportunity to, practice against, or with some of the best players in the world. He probably pinched himself a number of times going, is this for real? Could be possibly a once in a lifetime ordeal, and, the experience and see what some of these, all-stars or biggest stars are all about, what their habits are like, what they bring in practice, all the things that go with it. When you have a group like that is nothing but a positive. And, I'm sure he'll cherish this for a long time. And, I can just kind of relate from obviously a different position other than a goalie, but in Rendezvous 87 in Quebec with the miniseries against the Russians. And, you put a Gretzky, you put a Lemieux, you put a Messier, you put these guys in a lineup, and it's unbelievable how, and I again look back as when I received the puck and I had to make a decision, I didn't have a problem finding somebody with that kind of skill set standing there looking at me with their stick on the ice going, bring it, I'm ready for you. So these guys are a special breed, always have been, and to be amongst them and have a chance to experience it is incredible experience. And, I'm happy for him that he's able to be a part of it from a practice standpoint, but just the overall feel of, socializing with these kind of quality guys is nothing but a bonus for him. So very, very happy for him.
Those type of players, I guess the breakout pass didn't even have to be right on their stick, right? These guys are amazing at making a bad pass look like a good pass.
Yeah, well, you used to say you can't give a great player a bad pass, but these kind of guys, you can be under all kinds of pressure going, help, and they'd be just through instinct and just natural skill would be like, I'm here, bring it, I'll take care of it, and what an experience.
I think the smile, Jack, on Montembeault's face when he went to get the medal in his suit spoke volumes. I mean, he looked just so happy. It wasn't like moping that he didn't play or anything like that. And then, I wonder what he learned from Binnington maybe, because I was one of the guys wondering when Cooper started Binnington, and I was like, really? And then when he had a couple of bad goals in the first two games, and then but before the tournament, Cooper spoke about how Binnington was like a junkyard dog, and he just battles, and nothing really phases him. And like, he sort of reminded me of Rogie Vachon in net. Like he was flopping all over the place and stopping pucks with his head and doing stuff like that. So I'm thinking Montembeault might have learned something from that. Not the style of playing,
Yeah,
but
we hope not.
just the compete level. I think that's something that might follow him through.
Yeah, seeing that, he never got to be an understudy of Patrick Waugh, who had that too with talent that was off the charts. But you can win a lot of games in the league just with that kind of battling mentality. Which Binnington, I hated that choice. Especially I still don't understand why Logan Thompson wasn't there. There's a whole other conversation there about why Canada isn't developing elite goalies anymore. I was really surprised the percentages have gone. We're 42% of players in the league are Canadian, but only 29 or 28% now are goalies. So something is going on here that we need to correct. But when you've got one who'll go out there and grab a puck with his teeth if he has to, you're fine.
Yeah, I thought Aiden Hill was going to be the starting goalie. The first practice they had in Brossard, Hill was sitting in Montembeault's regular spot. And I mentioned that to Hill, and he said, well, it also used to be Carey Price's spot. So I figured Hill's the starting goalie. At an early deadline for a column, I had it all written, Aiden Hill the starting goalie and whatever for the next day. And then all of a sudden, Jordan Binnington's the goalie, which was a bit of a surprise. Now, Rick, you played in a lot of those World Championships with Team Canada. Is there one goalie performance from that stands out that you remember?
We had Kurt McLean, I guess. There's a number of guys that were pretty good players, but I have to say that you can't underestimate the fact when you're around that environment to look and study and watch the way these great players do their thing. And I strongly encouraged, as a defensive coach, when the defenseman wasn't playing, I said, you watch the game, you watch some of the details, you watch some of the executions and the things that are happening, that when you get the opportunity, you're going to, take advantage of those type of things. And I think it's the same for a goalie and Montembeault in watching, Pennington do his thing, not necessarily taking tons of stuff from him, but even a couple of things here and there is a good thing. And, it's nothing but a win-win situation for anybody that experienced something like that. And I feel sorry for Chris Nyland, USA team, that they weren't able to blow their horn anymore.
Jack, do you see Marty Samuel maybe riding Montembeault the rest of the season, like as the legit?
Yeah, I think he may with a couple of breaks, at least as long as they can say they're in it. Although, like you pointed out before, it's so complicated. You can be close, but with the loser points, it just makes it so hard to gain ground, especially with a bunch of teams in between. So, but I think he'll take him as far as, if he's tired or in a back-to-back. I haven't looked at all the rest of the schedule, but it isn't the toughest schedule in the league. They've got that going for them. And I think he'll probably take it as far as he can with him. And you'll see Dovish maybe occasionally, but not that often.
All right. Well, that's it for this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. Go to MontrealGazette.com/newsletters to sign up for the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. And go to HockeyInsideOut.com every day, where you will get all the latest Canadiens news. Also, if you have a bonus question you'd like us to answer in a future bonus episode, please put it in the comment section below.